Good evening and welcome to another video. Okay, so on today's video what I want to talk to you about is, for some reason drivers out there think that the golden nugget has been found, the golden arrow, and they think, you know, this is quite safe for now for them to go out working because of this thing they have found out that people are doing. So what I want to do is, on this video, is basically just talk about that a bit more, and also I'm going to make my own as well, and just to show you how easy it is. But the reason I'm not going to try and give my full-hearted attention to it is mainly because I don't think it works, you know. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about these dividers that's been going around and on the Facebook, and they're advertising everywhere on eBay and everything. And what it actually does is it separates the drivers from the passengers. So you got two people at the back. Now this is quite important under the government lockdown rules. You can't have more than two people socializing outside at any time. So if there's passengers you are picking up, which you shouldn't be working anyway, but I'm just saying, if there's more than two of them, you know, you're not meant to take them, because you're breaking the rule at the same time as well, and also you're putting your self at risk as well at the same time. So probably not the best of ideas picking more than two passengers. Anyway, the dividers, what he actually does is he goes through here and he just divides you, the driver, from the passenger. And all it is, it's actual simple concept itself. All it is a polythene, transparent plastic lining or sheet or whatever it is they put on, and they just cling it onto the actual roof here. It goes around there. It's not airtight as such, but you know, it doesn't have to be airtight, to be honest. And what it does is stops people transferring if they were to have the virus to you. So if they were to cough, or if they were to, you know, however it is transferred to you, you know, this is gonna protect you from that happening. Is it watertight? Is it, you know, 100%? You know, they're not giving any guarantees. They're not giving you certificates saying, you know, if this, you know, you'll protect you from the virus. So, you know, you could tell from there, these are people who are just basically jumping onto the bandwagon, trying to make some money out of people's misery, because that's how it works. You know, if you find something that people want, and you know, it makes them feel good, and this is what it's meant to do. It's meant to sort of give the drivers the green light to go out working and think, you know, they're so protective on it. So today what I'm going to do is basically show you two things of two ways I'm going to make this. Firstly, if you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a plastic. This is the problem now, because you can't actually go out there and get anything, because, you know, the builders merchant, whatever you want to go to, they're all closed anyway. So there's no real shops out there to actually buy anything. So basically I just went in the back of my garden and got a few things, and you know, let's see if that works. But as I said, I'm not happy about it. I'm just showing you the video, what's happening right there now, and also later on I'll tell you why it doesn't actually work. Why, if anything, this is the worst thing you could do for yourself, for your health. So firstly, what I've got is this piece of pipe here. This is I think from my garden. We was running some electric from the house to the shed. So basically you plant this pipe underneath the ground, and you run the live wire underneath there. So it's like a protection barrier for the electric. So I'm not sure how long this is. I'm not sure. Probably about 2-3 meters actually. And the thing is, right, it actually fits quite well, because what you do, right, you bend it. This is quite bendy, and you line it off from there all the way across here, and then obviously you apply your plastic sheeting around it, and it actually does the job. The other way also, I'll do this by the way to show you. What I've got also is these bamboo sticks. I don't know if you can see there. And what I've done is I've done one there, and then what I'm going to do is probably, you know, this is really bad. I'm not a real handyman, by the way. Try and create an arch, which also afterwards we'll try and put a plastic lining between the arches, and so that protects you. So that's all it is. It's not a real you know, guaranteed 100% safe thing, but you know, we'll try this, and let me see how I get along. So I'll stop the video now and I'll make this, and I'll do another one I'll do it from the back so you can see how it actually looks from the back. Okay, welcome back, guys. I'm just going to go into the car and sit in the back of the car because I'll show you my masterpiece. This here took me, what, 10 minutes to do actually, on my own. What did I need? I needed some bamboo stick and a shrink wrap. That's all I needed, and I've created this to show you. Now, obviously, this is probably the worst version you're going to see. There's people out there that are professionally fitting all these, and obviously the craze now is drivers are feeling that they need to do this because that's going to get them back on the road quick as possible. And what I'm trying to say on this video is, you know something, it's not easy as it is what it seems like or what you're hearing. You know, so let's go over some pointers. Firstly, obviously your council, are they going to be accepting something, you know, like this, where you created a permanent barrier division between the driver and the passenger? And I would say you probably can do, really, because of what's happening currently. So you might get away with that. They might offer you give you a warning or something, but you know, I doubt it very much. Secondly, you probably also seen when I was doing this video earlier on, there was a big pipe I was carrying, the flexi pipe, which I was going to use first actually, but that flexi pipe needed probably a 2-people job to actually bend it and you know, put everything around it as well, so which I didn't have really. So but what I'm trying to say here is, now that flexi pipe was 3 meters long. Now if you were to carry anything long as this, you know, this division you created here is not going to be not going to be able to carry them sort of things. So that's going to be a bit of a problem as well at the same time. Also, this might, you know, it's not really expensive as well, but some people are charging up to £100 to have these kind of things fitted. If you were to carry some large people, shall I say, you know, they'll put their knees against the actual you know, the division, the partition here. They might crack it, and you might have young kids come in the car sometimes, and if they give that a good kicking, you know, that's going to crack as well. So, you know, it's not a very, very brilliant idea to have it. But now this is what I want to emphasize more than anything else. You know, that's just a few highlights. What you've created here, just here, is actual barrier between the driver who'll be sitting down there and you as a passenger here. Now this creates a breeding ground for bacteria, because you're in a confined space here. So every passenger you're going to pick up is going to sit here. You might be happy down at the front there sitting, you know, taking the passengers, but what you are doing here is actually building up a real bacterial area. Now, so if there's a passenger that comes in here who probably hasn't got the virus, and you probably doing 20-30 jobs in a day, you know, well, you're not going to be doing that in this climate. But what I'm trying to say is, if any of them were to have that, they're going to leave that on here, and the next passenger that's going to come in there is going to pick up that virus straight away. And because this is like a breeding ground, and let me tell you a bit about breeding ground, because I mean, obviously I'm not an expert on it, but you know, I got experience in food handling. You know, you could only kill bacteria in 2 ways. You could either deep freeze this, again, it needs to be real frozen and everything, that will actually kill it, and also you're going to have extreme heat that will also kill it. And the most worst position it could be is, well, what they call a moisture position, where it is warm and everything, and that creates the worst temperature for it. So you might be saying, well, I'm going to give this a good clean after 3-4 hours, and you know what I mean. But let me tell you, once you come here after 3-4 hours and it's sort of moist in here, and doesn't matter what you're coming in with, you know, you might be saying, well, I'll have bacteria, mask and gloves and you know, sprays and everything. But trust me, you know, that is no protection. You know, you're hearing on the news currently about all this NHS staff, and they're probably a lot more protected than you are with your plastic mask. So what I'm trying to say is, you might be very, very tempted to have one of these done, but if it was my advice, I would say leave this out completely. This is like, what you're creating in here is like an epicenter for the actual virus in your car, because everyone is going to sit here. It's going to accumulate all the whatever they're breathing out onto this plasticky material there, or whatever you decide to have fitted, and that is the worst thing you can do. So end of the day, it's up to you guys, but something, I might give this one a miss. And the reason is, and drivers, because it's becoming more desperate now, and in anything in life, the more desperate you become, the more foolish you become at the same time. You'll be doing something to actually because you're desperate, to make you work and everything. So you'll see these kind of things, and trust me, this is just like a trend for this week. Something else will come out next week that will give you more protection, and you might even be more tempted to actually go for that. But on my side, if you were to listen to me, I'd say, something, give this a miss, because this to me is worse than not even having this. You cannot clean this at all properly, and every passenger is going to pick up, is going to sit in your car, is going to leave some sort of bacterial behind, and you are just going to pick up on that. So for me, no. Anyway guys, I'll chat to you later. Bye bye now.